And you, SEMA members here, are making history today. This is SEMA's first ever Making Green Cool Zone. And you might ask, why SEMA, why cool, why is it coming together? Because SEMA, as you know this very well, SEMA is the birthplace of American customization. By show of hands, who believes that? I would think that's pretty unanimous here. And we all know customization isn't just about the vehicles. Certainly a big part of it. But customization is about lifestyle. When people ask, what's the SEMA show about? Is it a car show? A car show? No, it's a lifestyle show. And that's why it continues growing. It's about your lifestyles and that passion for the car, which gets lost, in some cases, the further you go away from California or the Southwest, right? It's that passion that we want to bring. We had a technology session just a few minutes ago and wrapped up, and Bo Bachman said it very well. We're not making green cool. Green is cool. We're just adding our elements to it. And that was a very profound statement that we're going to have. And Bo will be here about 1 o'clock to wrap some of that up. But I'm not going to step. I want you folks to know who's here and these really cool vehicles you see out here. We've got people like George Barris out there with the Prius that he built over there. We got Kyle Schwartz with this engine, a little tucked away over in the back here. The average Chinese motorcycle pollutes more than 4 US cars. And Kyle's developed a solution for about $30 that solves that problem on the carburetor. That's that type of ingenuity, that creativity that represents you, the grassroots of performance, impacting green, and again, with some of the great stuff you see here, making it cool. We've got Azhar Hussain here. He's the founder of the TTX GP. It's the first ever zero-emission motorcycle Grand Prix. Going to be held June 12th at the Isle of Man. He'll tell you more about that. That's that electric bike right there. And Azhar has a great phrase. The fastest way to advance technology is basically you got 2 options. War or technology. And I think we're here for the technology. So I think that's what we want to focus on. We've got quite a few folks I want to invite up here to tell a few words here. Where are we at? I want to start with Ed Triolo. Ed's the Vice President of ALMS, this really cool C6 Corvette you see here, winner of the inaugural Green Challenge. Ed?
John, thank you very much. Thanks sincerely for the opportunity to be here. The American Le Mans Series really believes in what Azhar and John have just told you, is that the way to advance technology is either through war or competition. We prefer competition for sure. The American Le Mans Series was founded, our rule book was founded back in the history of the Le Mans race from France, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And that race was really started back in 1923 as a competition amongst the auto manufacturers, the builders in the early days of the automobile, to put their products out on the racetrack to see who was fastest and who could last the longest in a 24-hour race. Our rule book is that rule book. We have opened it up for the manufacturers, and we're blessed and fortunate to have 10 different automobile manufacturers. Porsche, Ferrari, BMW is coming to us, Corvette, of course, Honda, Acura. They are all coming to the American Le Mans Series because our rule book opens it up for them to test technology and in fact develop the products of the future. And that's really what I'm here to talk to you about, is the American Le Mans Series Green Challenge. But first, I want to recognize 2 gentlemen that are out here in front of me that were instrumental in developing. We have a rule book. We're pretty good at telling how fast and how far the cars can go. But when it comes to measuring things like the emissions and petroleum displacement and things like that, we relied upon the United States Department of Energy, Argonne National Labs, the Environmental Protection Agency, and SAE International. I'm pleased, gentlemen, if you raise your hands, Tom Ball for the EPA and Bob Larson of Argonne National Labs. Thank you, guys. Our effort with these organizations, with the EPA, with the DOE and SAE, began about 3 years ago. The organizations I've just named, they were interested in promoting green racing. And it goes back even further than that. The Green Racing Initiative, they developed protocols, including things like well-to-wheel emissions of different fuels. And once our folks started to work with the Green Racing Working Group, they together develop these protocols for green racing. And we then contacted the manufacturers, the car manufacturers that are involved in our series, and they were enthusiastic in their support for this concept. The protocols I'm talking about, it's performance, but it's efficient combustion, efficient consumption, I should say, greenhouse gas factors, and petroleum displacement. All three extremely relevant factors for today. The idea, however, is that you need to push the teams not only to be efficient, you could just drive at 3/4 throttle and be pretty efficient perhaps, but you have to have a performance factor. So it's the cars and the teams that win the race, drive the fastest, but also have the best factors in terms of the three that I just mentioned. So with the help of those agencies, we held the inaugural Green Challenge at the Road Atlanta racetrack on October 4th of this year. And we're proud and pleased that Corvette Racing was, and General Motors and the Chevrolet division was the overall winner of the inaugural Green Challenge. And the car is right here on display, and we thank them for their effort. So without any further ado, again, we're very pleased. We want you to take a look at the car and realize that a car that's as cool as that racing Corvette can also be extremely green, running on cellulosic E85. Not food chain ethanol, but cellulosic E85. So kudos to the team. Thank you to SEMA. Thanks to our colleagues at the EPA, the Department of Energy, and SAE International. And thank you especially to John for helping put this together.
Thank you, Ed. Thanks, Ed. Couldn't do it without folks like ALMS, DOE, Ed, and all the folks that put that